Okay, hi, welcome. These are warm-up exercises that are usually done in preparation for the actual Qigong, but they involve some Qigong themselves too. So different kinds of movements are made, and a couple principles just to remember as you do these exercises. So anytime you're doing a movement, I always try and invoke and remember there's energy involved, and a good way to do that is to assume, to feel, to imagine that there's a ball of energy in your palm, in both palms. So you have two palms, two balls of energy, about 4 inches in diameter, something like that. If you have your palms together, you can imagine that they merge and then it becomes a little bit larger, like a basketball or something like that, a volleyball. So when you make a movement, say with your arm out to the side, you imagine that the ball moves out a little bit like a yo-yo type of thing, and then it comes back in as you retract. So that's a basic principle. If you swing up and then come down, same thing, you're bringing the balls, the energy down. Imagine anytime you sweep through that you actually do the yo-yo, that it shoots down through your legs into the earth. So that's one basic principle. Always invoke energy while you move. The other one is always reconnect to the earth, to the ground when you pause. So if you make a movement, whatever it is, when you come back to a still point, which there's always like a pause, a still point's called the ready position. From here, just imagine you're a large and beautiful tree, like an oak tree, willow tree, any kind of tree, whatever your favorite tree is, and imagine that there are roots twice your height that go down into the earth. So that's another important kind of basic thing. Every time you come back to a ready position or a paused position, any position where you're just standing still for a bit, imagine that there are roots down there and really feel it. Feel supported, feel nourished, feel like the energy's coming through and into you. Okay? So now we're going to go into some warm-up exercises. The first one's called ringing the bell. There are variations. This one, you're just going to swing your arms back and forth. The key here is you're going to keep your head facing forward while you swing. So the arms are relaxed, you're just swinging them, letting them flow naturally. And you can continue this. You can do this up to like 20 times. At least 10 you should, just to warm up. And we'll stop here. So always coming back to a ready position. Ready position is basically, again, the knees are over the feet, sort of between the heels and the toes. Just the knees are bent a little bit. The hips should be over the heels, over the ankles, torso over the hips. Have a sense that there's length in the spine, like there's a little cord or wire pulling up from the head so that the neck actually lengthens just a little bit. Same thing, like the tail, the whole pelvis sinks just a little bit. So that creates like a stretch along the spine. And then there's a little bit of space in the armpit. You don't have to have your arms out like so, but a little bit, usually out and forward, just like that. So there's a little bit of space. That helps the energy or the chi flow. So this is a ready position. So ringing the bell, we come back to the ready position, and now we're going to do hip circles. So you can have your hands on your hips, or you could keep them like this, better on the hips, and just rotate. So this is loosening up the joints, the hip joints, the knees, the ankles. Do five or seven in one direction, and then pause, and then the other direction. And what you can do to refine it is just notice which side feels more comfortable, looser, and which one's tighter. And then we'll pause back to the ready position. So every move and then back to the ready position. And again, connect. Feel the roots down into the earth. Now we're going to do a couple of tappings. Okay, so the actual benefit here is when we tap, it actually has a number of effects. One of them is to actually improve the physical circulation, so blood flow, lymphatic drainage. That's all very helpful because that helps stimulate the electricity. But it actually increases, along with that, the actual electricity in the body and the flow of the electricity in the body. So we're going to tap two main points that are very fundamental in acupuncture and any kind of Qigong work. It's very strong. One of them is related to the hip joints, and the other one's related to the shoulder and the neck. The point down here that we're actually tapping is called gallbladder 30. You don't need to know that, but for those of you that might be interested. To find this, first you just find the hip bone. So if you just sway back and forth a little bit, you'll find like the bony bit, the most bony part of your hip. That from there, you want to go back one hand, one width of the hand. So from there back. So it's just like back, one hand, and now you're just going to tap and try and use the heel of your palm here. You're just tapping. Basically, that's on your gluteal muscles, but the actual point there is related to the hip joint. So both arms just tapping, and then you can do one after the other. Just get a rhythm going. Don't bruise yourself, but definitely give it a little bit of a tap so that it knows that you're there. And again, just both for a couple more. That's really awesome. That's good. And then what you go to next is up on the shoulder, and basically just you can feel there just the high bit, and basically in the center. And this is, as you know, a lot of people, we all do. We all carry tension up in our shoulders. It's very helpful. So again, basically with the palm, the strong part of your hand, you're just sweeping. If you can't reach with the palm, then just anywhere in the hand is fine. About 6 times, 7 times. Rest for a second, and then the other side. Again, just in the center, the high bit, and in the center if you can reach to that. Pause. We'll do it one more time. This is a slight variation. It's very helpful to get an extra kind of stretch here. So you're going to work with one side, and choose your side. You can mirror me or pick your own side. But the side that you're working with, you're going to let your head tilt forward just a little bit and a little bit away from that side. You can feel if you put your hand on the neck as you tilt forward and to the side, you should just feel like a little tighter there. So you're not doing huge movements here, but just a little bit, like an inch or two. Keep that and then tap again. Come on back up. Same thing. So if on the other side, again, you can feel with your neck, just tilt forward a little bit and just at an angle about 45 degrees. Should feel a little bit tighter there. Keep it there and then tap. To make it even stronger, you can just pull your hand, you can pull the actual shoulder down a little bit and keep forward and to the side. That'll make it even tighter there. There you go. That was awesome. That's so helpful for you. You can use this anytime, but as part of a Qigong practice, it's very helpful. These are two major points. This is actually gallbladder 21. And what we said before, the other one's a gallbladder. So there's this flow called the gallbladder channel or meridian, goes down the sides of the body. And this is good because you're working on two spots. It actually helps a lot of the energy flow. So to test it out, let's just swing back again with the first movement. Again, looking forward with your head, that stays still. And letting the torso and the arms just flop back and forth. Ringing the bell. And hip circles again. Same thing, about 5 times or so in one direction. And notice, just try and compare what you're feeling now to what you felt before the tapping. to the ready position. So did you notice the difference? Most people do, and if you didn't, that's okay. But just keep practicing and you will. This definitely gets the blood flowing, loosens the muscles and the electricity. So given this, then let's just bring our hands together in front, again about a basketball's width, about 7-8 inches, something like that apart. Wrists should be very relaxed, otherwise the energy gets caught up there. Fingers are loose, nice and easy. Shoulders should be relaxed, not hooked, just nice and relaxed. And so you've just moved a lot of energy, and just kind of wiggle your fingers one side, the other, both together. And just notice if you feel anything in between the hands, if there's a tingling or a warmth. And now just keep one hand still. You're going to use the other hand and just slowly come in about halfway and come back out. And again. Then try the other side. Come in about halfway and out. You're feeling just what you feel. It's like just allow what's there to be. So some people can feel, if you can't feel anything, hang in there, you will. Well, let's try one more thing. Sometimes it's easier on the back of the hand. So take one hand and just turn it over so you got the palm facing the back. And now just bring the hand with the palm in about halfway and back. Again, try and keep your arm as relaxed as possible. And it's a little awkward, but relax. Same thing. Palm facing the back of the hand. Try and relax. Halfway in and back. Try and feel the back of the hand and the palm. See if you can feel anything as you come in and back. It should be like a pressure or a tingling or some sense of a warmth, a temperature change. And then back to the ready position. There you go. That's great. Okay, we're going to move on. Now we're going to do some hip circles, but these are going to be with the knees bent. So we're going to rotate. I'm just going to turn to the side here for a second. What's happening here is that the knees are bending forward. So we're going to rotate like so. It's another type of circulation. So this again, what you're doing with the ball of energy in your hands, and remember in there, that's what we call the gallbladder, and you remember that was an important point. So you're actually massaging it, you could think, with the chi or the electricity. Now there's gonna squat down, interlace your hands, and then as you come up, the hands swing so they're facing, the palms are facing up, and you come up, and then if you can, lift off your heels as far as you can, and then come back down. The palms come down and back to the ready position. You can actually do this several times. You can just do it as a series of like 3 or 5 times. So we'll just do it 3 times here. So each time you'll interlace, and each time always change the interlacing. So one time one thumb's on the top, the next time the other thumb's on the top. So let's do this 3 times. Down, knees bent, interlace, coming up, the palms turn facing up, all the way up. To do this more than once, just come out to the side, back down, interlace other thumb on top, inhaling up, exhaling down. One more time. Up and then back down, and then from here now we're going to sway in a circle. So keep the palms interlaced, the hands interlaced, and just sway. A bit of a forward bend and around to the side, and a bit of a back bend. Don't hurt yourself, just go as far as comfortable. So twice, then the other way. This is useful. The stretch and the twist is really useful just to open up the whole torso. So the second 2 times. And when you're back here now, just the hand, one hand comes across and down, and the other hand follows, and you do a side bend. And then to the other side. Now we're going to come down and imagine you have the balls, again with your palms, but they're facing down. You're just going to sweep across to one side and gently flow across to the other side. One more time. Now you're going to swing the front foot out 90 degrees. Back one stays where it is. And you're going to just come down, lift the foot. You see the foot's raising. And then back out. Foot swings to the front, both feet in the front, go over. Front foot goes 90 degrees. Down, up, and back in the front. Now we're going to do bowling. So imagine that the back hand has a bowling ball, 4 inches again, or it could be a little bit bigger. And like a yo-yo, you're going to just let it go out, and it comes back to your hand. This is very much about trying to feel the energy in your palm, going out a little bit away and coming back. You do it 3 times. On the third time now, you swing all the way around and do a side bend. Coming back, the ball of energy is in the other hand, and again, 3 times. Goes out, comes back in. Really concentrate on feeling that energy in your palm out and back. And one more time. Not too far out, like a yo-yo, kind of a couple inches, a foot or 2. All the way around. Side bend. And back to the ready position. Pause. Reconnect. Have the sense of connection with the earth. Find your balance. When you come back to the ready position, you can even just close your eyes for a couple of seconds just to recenter, really kind of feel supported, connected to the earth, supported by the earth, connected to the earth. So, moving on. Now, having made this connection, we're going to use the earth energy to actually cleanse and purify the body. The actual technique, it's called counter swing. It's just a swinging again, but the key here is that you're going to imagine that white healing energy comes up from the earth and fills your whole body, a bright white light. And as you swing, the front hand is going to come out the front hand and just be deposited out in like the wastebasket or something. And actually it just goes down into the earth and gets recycled. And you'll do that. So each time you come to the front, you will inhale, pull white energy up into your body. As you turn, you exhale, and the energy comes out the hand. At first, you should visualize that the energy coming out is like smoky color. It's just like imagine you're releasing anything you don't need. Either it's physical, emotional, spiritual, energetic, whatever it is, financial, could be anything. So inhaling white energy up, exhaling and it's smoky. And as you progress, gradually you should actually imagine and even sense that that energy starts to get lighter and lighter. So eventually it's white light in and white light out. It's a really good exercise, but you should do some warm-ups before you go to this. So this again, counter swing. So let's do this. So ready position and out, Other hand just swings back. That's why it's called a counter swing. So the front one, palms facing up. The other one, just swinging back. You see the palms up. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, both palms are down. Exhale, front palm is up. And the speed, you can go at whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, white light. Exhale, smoky. And back, and then back to the ready position. And again, these exercises, you can do them a little bit longer than we're showing here. But, you know, that you could do it like 20 times, or until it just feels right. Again, you're trying to get some of the smoky stuff out, some of the stuff you don't need, and bringing in some healing energy from the earth, up through the roots, up into you. Okay, the next exercise is called swaying. Swaying's like a tree swaying in the breeze. This actually, though, is about the tummy region. And you're basically going to have a ball of energy, and you're going to imagine that it's circling. The swaying is actually the hands. The hands and the body will be swaying like so. So the actual kind of technique then, you can imagine that if you find your belly button, the ball is going to be between the belly button and the bottom of your torso, what's called the perineum. So this region in here. Inside of you, a ball about that size, however big you are there, is basically going to rotate. And you're going to imagine, or like it's rolling. And the front is going to be rolling down. So it'll be rolling down the front to the back, and then the back of the ball will be rolling up. So the ball is rolling like so. So you got this ball of energy inside from your navel down inside. What you're going to do is you'll inhale up and then exhale down. What happens is the ball is going to rotate as you exhale. And you imagine the ball actually starts to get smaller so it's like the energy compacts and rotates. You can actually imagine as much as you can that it's rotating like that inside as you exhale. As you inhale, the ball basically just gets larger again. So imagine that there's more energy coming into the space. So it's exhale, contracts and rotates. Inhale gets larger. So ideally the energy is going down and back and up and around, but if you can just get it part of the way, that's fine too. So again, exhale, we'll rotate. Inhale, we'll expand. So we're going to do this from this position. So it'll be inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And again, you can find your own rhythm with the breathing, but it shouldn't be too slow or too fast. The key here is you really need to engage your mind and feel that ball of energy rotate and expand. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Expand, expand, rotate, expand, rotate. And then back to the ready position. This is actually one of the very best exercises to incorporate the counter swing. and the swaying. They're very useful to clean some energy out and to actually get circulation. This is really good. You can teach this to anybody that has any kind of digestive issues or just feeling sluggish, ate too big of a meal, Thanksgiving turkey or something. Any of that is really helpful, but it's also a basic developmental exercise in Qigong that kind of starts to generate this flow of energy. Because eventually what you do is you have the energy go all the way up your back and over the top of your head. So it's like a big wheel, big ball kind of turning. But this is starting at this position. So very good exercise, sway. So we're going to do one more kind of warm-up exercise here, and then that'll be it for the warm-up exercises. This one actually comes from Tai Chi. It's a very, very fundamental kind of procedure in Tai Chi. It's called cloud hands. It's just like the hands are doing a movement, so it's like they're floating in the clouds. The actual position, what you do is first have your feet hip-width apart or a little bit wider. What you're going to do is you're going to take one foot and just turn it, the foot out 45 degrees. The other foot's going to take a step straight forward. I'm just going to scoot back just a little bit here. And again, you can just mirror me or choose one side. So one foot out 45 degrees, the other foot up about a foot or so. And what you do is the knee should not go past the front of your toes. The knee should be bent some and it's in between the heel and the front of the toes. So there's a bit of a hip width between the feet, back foot's facing out, front foot's forward. This is it's actually called a bow stance, but this is like the position. So first, feel comfortable here. With the hands, we're going to use one hand first, and then we'll use both hands. So with the hands, you start from the back, and you just swing so that the palm faces forward. So it's like, you remember the ball of Qi, it's like throwing the yo-yo out, and it comes back. You see the hand turns and faces you. So it's like you're actually looking at the hand as you come back. So to complete that, what you actually do is you go out, and then the hand swings down, comes back up, out, and down. This is already a full exercise just doing this. And usually you do this bit first, just for a couple times. Then there's another hand. So what happens here is this hand swinging down, and you have this other hand here. It's going to do the same thing, but it's going to come back basically the opposite. So this one's going to swing down, up. This is the one that you're looking at as it comes back. So this hand's doing a circle one way, and the other hand's doing a circle the other. Putting them together then, you see you're bringing one back, so the back hand on the back leg is facing you as you move towards the back. The other hand swings, comes up, this comes out, it's like you're holding the ball, and then you come forward. So this hand's going to swing forward, the other hand is facing you now, coming through, and then you grab the ball again. So as you grab the ball in the front, grab the ball in the back, and just continue. The hand that comes across that's facing you, you look at. The other hand is facing you too. And you're actually feeling a ball of energy. It's just like you're massaging yourself with balls of energy. Then you throw it out, it comes back to you. You split it into two parts. You massage yourself, put it together to one ball, bigger ball, shoot it out, comes back, split it into two parts. This is such a basic, this is actually, they say it's like the second most, they say that this is the second most important exercise in the Tai Chi practice. The actual practice is the most important thing, but this is so foundational because it's working all sorts of things. The hip joints are moving, you're moving the arms, and you're engaging with the Qi. So you do it on the other side, of course. So we just look on the other side, same thing. Back, the other leg, 45 degrees, hip width apart, the front foot about a foot or two in front, the knees bent, not past the knee. Feel comfortable there. Usually you have a little bit of weight, extra weight on the front, but you can find whatever's comfortable. For the Qigong, this is, you can, anywhere that feels comfortable, as long as the knee is between the heel and the foot. Then again, just start with one hand facing you, out, remember the yo-yo, throwing it out, and back, in like a circle. The other hand, back, then like bowling. And we'll just continue this. You can continue this with a number of repetitions, just like before. And at the end, when you come back to the ready position. Okay.